In last weekend's coronation, we had a vivid reminder of the intertwined relationship between the state and the Church of England. Meanwhile, MPs from across the region are concerned that the established church is deliberately cutting the number of priests serving rural areas while using the money earmarked to pay their salaries for other things. Controversial plans to reorganise the church in Cornwall, where it's already not unusual for a single priest to oversee as many as 5 parishes, have come in for particular criticism, as David Dixon reports.
Stunning churches like Sancreed in West Cornwall have been part of the community for hundreds of years. Parts of this one date back to the 13th century. But changes the Diocese of Truro are making could have far-reaching consequences for parishes across the region.
We haven't had a vicar here for 9 years, but we are very lucky that retired clergy take our service. We need a priest. That's what we basically need. But with so many churches without priests at the moment, I don't think there's much chance of that. The bishop doesn't seem to be very keen on bringing priests down to Penwith.
The diocese are proposing a set of changes called On the Way, which will see some vicars looking after 15 or 20 churches. They say it's vital to help modernise the church.
There will be slightly fewer clergy if this plan is fully kind of implemented, but there will be more people doing work on behalf or in and on behalf of the church, including, for instance, more people working with children and young people, more people working in the kind of things that we do to support people in the most deprived communities, so food banks, debt support.
And it's of particular concern to MPs who are regular churchgoers.
One of the things I've valued so much in my life is being able to know who the parish priest is and to be able to have a relationship with them. And that's very, very important. That's something that's becoming more and more difficult, I think, particularly in the Diocese of Truro. It's becoming more and more in question. And I know that when people see here, in the Houses of Parliament, bishops having very strong opinions, you could say pontificating on legislation here in Parliament, rather than focusing on the health and well-being of the church of which they are leaders, it understandably is causing great concern.
The Church of England is an extremely rich institution. It's one of our country's major landowners. There are certain dioceses, and Truro is one of these, where there are real concerns that there's money in the pot that's not being used to support and appoint clergy. Parishes are losing their clergy. You're getting these huge mega parishes which are unmanageable, and people, particularly in rural areas, are not being served.
If these plans do go ahead, campaigners say it could have dire consequences for small parishes.
Well, I think it's very salutary to look at Wales. They did about 10 or 15 years ago, over a period of years, what is being proposed in the Truro diocese and elsewhere in this country, which is to form these, what we call mega parishes. And guess what? Within 4, 5, 10 years, they start closing.
The campaign group hope getting MPs on side will add more weight to the argument to get vicars in churches like this more regularly. But whether that falls on deaf ears at the Church of England remains to be seen.
The Church of England nationally does have, it's very wealthy. Some of that is being freed up. We'll put probably £10 million over the next 10 years or so on straight into parishes to supporting them, and then we have got money to do some of these other things. I mean, in the end, it's about what we think the church is. It's about what we think we're here for. It's what we think matters. That's the most important thing.
The Bishop of St Germans ending that report by David Dixon. Now, I've no idea whether